Cause you're the black man I wish I knew. There's no way I can ever go. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. And yo, and yo, and yo, I'm not gonna love me. I mean, come on. To get it. I'm trying not to. I'm trying. Listen. It's calling me. I couldn't help
Salute,
myself.
salute.
Here it is.
I gotta hear this. I gotta hear this.
Super Mammy! I mean, come on. And I am telling you, I'm not going nowhere. Cause you're the man I wish I knew. There's no one who could ever do. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm divesting without you. I'm not waking up tomorrow morning to see that there's no black man there. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm living without you. I'm not living without you.
Oh my God.
And yo, and yo, and yo, you're gonna love me. Oh, the hell?
Yo, that is
Come
hilarious.
on.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I ain't going nowhere. Cause you're the black man I wish I knew. There's no way I can ever go. No, 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 no. No, no, no. I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. And yo, and yo, and yo, I'm gonna love me. I mean, come on. To get it. I'm trying not to. I'm trying. Listen. It's calling me. I couldn't help myself. Here it is. Super Mammy! I mean, come the hell on. And I am telling you, I'm not going nowhere.
I try not to laugh.
You're a black man I wish I knew.
Bruh, this is crazy.
There's no one who could ever do.
This is
No,
crazy.
no, no, no. No, 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 no.
It's crazy.
I'm divesting without you.
Divesting without
I'm
you.
not waking up tomorrow morning to see that there's no black man there. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I'm living without you.
That's
I'm not.
all right, that's enough of that. So that was the Pick Me Anthem by Tanya TKO, the queen of calling black men dusties. Her and Cynthia G have definitely led the charge in that regard. I tagged a couple women in this because I felt like I wanted to hear their perspective and their narrative, right? The only time I hear the word dusties used is in reference to black men. So I wanted to ask, have you ever heard it in reference to any other race of men? Like, are there videos out there that are calling white men, Hispanic men, Oriental men dusties? Or is this just something that is coined for black men? Again, Tanya TKO and Cynthia G have done a very good job at promoting this phrase, this narrative for black men or whatever. And I wanted to ask you guys, or whatever case may be, do you feel that the name calling is reasonable now? Do you feel like the name calling is at an all-time high, and it should continue because it's promoting change, it's promoting togetherness, it's really waking black men up, it's really waking black women up? Or do you feel like at this point in time it's just childish? Because I kind of get this, I'm under the impression, the understanding that if we want to do better and we want better, then we have to do better ourselves. Ourselves being individuals, ourselves being black men, ourselves being black women, ourselves being the black community. So I wonder, can you shame someone, disrespect someone, or call them names to a point where, since you called me so many names, I'm gonna do better now? Since you call me so many names, I'm gonna love you better now. I'm gonna protect you better now. I'm gonna provide for you better now. Since you say you was leaving me, I'm gonna do better now. I guess my thought process, I wanted to ask you guys, do you feel like the narrative of calling black men dusties, do you feel like that's going to promote the black community? Do you feel like that's going to uplift women and empower women and say, yeah, they're dusties? Or do you feel like enough's enough? You feel like, hey, that's childish behavior? Now, I had a conversation with a young woman. She's probably gonna be in the comments. And she said that she felt like, you know, Tanya TKO and Cynthia G were agents. And I was like, agents of what? And she was like, agents of distraction. So I wanted to tag some other people, some other women that I feel like are great content creators, that give great perspective. Do you feel like, not necessarily Tanya TKO and Cynthia G are distractions, but do you feel like the name calling is worthwhile? Do you feel like it's reasonable? Do you feel like it's necessary? Or do you feel like we're past the point of name calling and now we got to get to the actual conversation? Because you know what I noticed? I noticed that there are a lot of women telling other women to divest from black men. And I'm curious about that, because once you tell women to leave black men alone, you tell black women to leave black men alone. Okay. All right, your opinion, your prerogative, you know, you can do that. But where does that leave your sons at? Because do you now tell your black sons to leave black women alone, since you're promoting that online? Since that's the narrative that black women should leave? Because can you imagine a Cynthia G or a Tanya TKO talking to their children, telling their daughters, don't mess with black men? And their sons are like sitting up there like taking it in, or whatever case may be. Can you imagine that? Because I'm at a point right now, like, where does your narrative stick and who does it apply to? Because the young lady that was talking to me said, well, only bitter and vindictive women would subscribe to that type of narrative. And I said, well, I don't think you got to be bitter and vindictive. Maybe your heart's been broken by a couple people. Maybe you thought something was going to work out and it didn't work out. So I didn't quite subscribe to what she was saying, but I kind of understand that it's like, if I sit around and like I said, I take my daughter and my son, and I tell my daughter, you won't date black men. Black men are dusties, homosexuals. They're not good fathers. They don't want relationships. They're this, that, this, and this, right? So then what do I tell my son? What do I tell my son about black women? So I guess I'm just curious, if Cynthia G has a son, if Tanya TKO has a son, what do you tell and instill into your son? Do you teach them to gaslight for black women? Do you teach them to simp for black women? Do you teach them to straighten their crown up, but they never empower themselves as black men? Like, what's the narrative? What's the rhetoric that's being taught to these types of children that have these types of people saying black men ain't shit?
New text message from
Whoa, Lord have mercy. Every time I get on live. I mean, what's the narrative that you push? What's the narrative that you promote? Are we past the name calling, or is the name calling empowering us individually? Is it empowering the movement? I don't see America or a black community without black people. And when I say black people, I mean both genders. I don't see a black community of just black women. I don't see a black community of just black men. So when we promote division, we promote pulling away from one another, wouldn't that be considered a distraction? wouldn't that be considered harmful or dangerous? Because if there are no black men in the picture, are we saying black women who now have divested from black men? They no longer defend black men. They no longer believe in black men. They no longer care for black men in reference to if they get shot by or killed by police brutality or get locked up, mistaken identity, whatever the case may be, you no longer will support or help black men. So where does that leave your sons? Where does that leave the Cynthia G's sons, the Tanya TKO's sons? Like, are those black men excluded from the conversation? Because you know your son is a good person. You know your son is reliable and trustworthy and wants a family and working on his credit and wants to be an entrepreneur and wants to be the greatest person they can be. But does your rhetoric affect your children? That's my question. Does your rhetoric affect your children? Somebody ask Cynthia G that for me and Tanya TKO. Does the rhetoric and narrative that you push in reference to men being dusties, men being homosexuals, men not being leaders, providers, and protectors and role models, will that affect your children? Or are they excluded from the conversation? Because I never hear that. I never hear everybody's a dusty except my son. Everybody's a dusty except my nephew. Everybody a dusty except the man I chose to lay down with and have a kid by. I never hear any exclusions. I only hear this mass encompass of black men. So I wanted to ask you guys, do you feel like we're past the name calling? Is it time for us to adult up and be adults and say, man, hey, let's get to fixing versus distraction. Let's get to building versus all of the other nonsense that we're promoting. Now, there's a lot of men online right now that I guess I could say have a following, a presence online. Kevin Samuels, Derek Jackson, Kwame Brown, Hassan Campbell. There's so many men out there right now, and they're different types of men. They come from different types of walks of life. They talk about different things from high value to gang violence, right? So my thought process is this: are all of these men dusties? Are all of these men who speak out and most of them don't bash black women? Most of them actually promote black women or tell them fix their crown or whatever case may be. But my thought process is, do you encompass everyone under one umbrella and say all of y'all are dusties, all of y'all are no good? And is that fair? Is that fair to meet a woman who listens to Cynthia G's rhetoric, who's been hurt repeatedly, right, by black men or in relationships or whatever? The thing about it is, let me ask you guys something. Do you feel like people attract okay. Do you feel like people attract certain types of people? Like damaged people attract people that's going to take advantage of them. Like there's some type of beacon or some type of light that's like damage. Okay, I'm on it. Abused. Okay, I'm on it. Victimized. Okay, I'm on it. Low self-esteem. Okay, I'm on it. In need of some attention. Okay, I'm on it. Is it possible for you to attract people to you that are going to take advantage of you? Or is it just like by luck or by chance you come across somebody like a dusty? I think honestly we don't take time to vet the people that we put in our lives because we don't take time to heal. And I think that when you hear somebody's conversation, especially about a particular topic, you can understand if they took time to heal themselves versus trying to jump into a relationship and bring that toxic behavior, that narcissistic behavior, that lack of self-respect, that lack of self-awareness. They bring it into the next situation. Now, here's my thought process, right? And I'm hoping that you guys understand what I'm about to say. If I sit in this truck and I pee all over myself, I pee all over myself, right? and I pee on myself in the presence of this young woman right here. This is the woman I want to be with or whatever. And something happens between me and this young lady. So she gets out the car. The damage is already done. I'm just driving to the next location. Pick up another woman. I ain't cleaned up. I ain't fixed the situation. I ain't fixed me yet. But I'm trying to build with somebody else. I'm trying to keep the conversation going with somebody else. And after a while, that person that's riding with me, they tend to notice things. Like your self-esteem ain't where it's supposed to be at. Your confidence ain't where it's supposed to be. You kind of needy. You extra needy. You extra disrespectful. You lash out too much. You it's something about your conversation that for some reason ain't picking up. A lot of us are walking around pissy than a motherfucker from another past situation that we ain't decided to clean up from. Well, we carrying around that odor, that stench, trying to deal with it. Clean up. Clean up. Cynthia G, Tanya TKO, it's time to clean up. It's time to clean up because everybody can't be dusty. And everything can't be for entertainment. The thing about it is you have young women out there and you also have old women out there that are applauding what is going on. And they're not the only people that's calling people names. I'm thinking anybody who's calling the opposite gender names, it's time to clean up because that's not getting nowhere. That's not promoting anything healthy. That's not promoting building a foundation. That's not promoting togetherness or teamwork. And that's really what it's about, teamwork. It should not be all about one gender. I never seen, I don't know a society full of just women or a society full of just men that I've seen that prosper. Anybody can tell me where is there a society full of just, and I'm not talking about organization, I'm talking about an actual society, like an island or a state or whatever, just men and just women. And you tell me where they're thriving at. And if anybody say jail, shut the hell up. Because some of y'all petty. Some of y'all petty. But I'm just saying, is there a state where there are just men and it's like, you know, or just women and it's just like, oh, it's everything is peaches and cream and phenomenal? Because I'm going to be honest with you, man. Some of y'all women be doing each other dirty. Like y'all be, oh, look at her shoes. She thinks she all that. Look at her hair. She thinks she, like, it's just the littlest things will turn women against each other. And it's so funny to me how many people are banding together to say these black men. And I'm like, so y'all don't know no good black men? There are no good black men that you can promote as an example. Now I get it. Hey, some relationships fail. Some due to yourself or some due to somebody else you know. But the fact of the matter is, it's like you got to be able to promote at least one. What about your father? Uh-oh. Oh, let me sip this. Let me sip my little, you know what I'm saying? Let me sip my. You know what's crazy? I don't hear a lot of conversations about people's fathers. My father taught me. My father instilled in me the standards and morals and how to conduct myself as a man or woman. You notice that a lot of people that have this rhetoric or this narrative of I hate, I don't like, I have such a big problem with. I always say, well, where's your father at? Where's your father at? Have you guys ever heard Tanya TKO or Cynthia G mention their fathers? I'm just curious. Because when you talk about Dusties, I would be like, all y'all Dusties, except my daddy. All y'all Dusties, except my stepfather. Like, I never get that narrative. And I've done a good job at saying, okay, well, let me watch a couple videos, the videos that I've missed. Somebody sending me clips of certain things or whatever. But I never hear all y'all Dusties except this person or except this group of men. But you know what I do? I do hear except this group of men. It seemed like for some reason white men can do no wrong. I hear how white men have conquered black men, how white men are the more dominant force, how white men control everything. But my thought process is, if white men control everything and white men are the dominant force and white men own black men, right? Wouldn't that mean they own you too as a black woman? How do you exclude yourself from the black narrative, the black community? I'm just curious. How do you exclude yourself from the black community? If you say black men are owned, white men run black men, they own everything. Well, how did you step aside? How did you step aside and say, yeah, you tell them, Frank, Mike, Jim, John, you tell them? Wouldn't it be more influential and more supportive to say, well, it's time for us to build together, so that way we won't have to be in this particular situation? Or do you just say, well, you know, I think I heard Cynthia G tell someone before was the black woman is tired of supporting black men to turn around and leave the black woman for a white woman once they build themselves up. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's be realistic. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna get to some of these comments in a second because I don't want to forget my train of thought. Hold on. Let me get to some of these comments. If I'm compared conquered, then so are you. That's what I thought. I guess he's anti-Dusty, but he's a Jamaican and black. I don't know. Let me scroll up. I don't know what you're talking about. Wow, sounds like selective hearing. I don't know what that is. Could some of y'all even handle having a good man? They tuck their tail and run. Oh, Tiny TKO says her father is a great man. Okay, thank you for telling me that. Thank you for telling me that. She says Tanya TKO says her father is a great man. Okay, cool. That's awesome. Sounds like the tables are turning to me. See, I don't forget. Oh my God, y'all done made me forget. Y'all done made me forget. God damn it. Why don't you debate Cynthia G and talk to the source? So here's my thought process. A lot of people always say, you know, won't you debate someone? I don't think it's about a debate. I don't think it's about a debate. Either you know good black men or you don't. Either you promote black togetherness and black empowerment or you don't. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm only gonna empower men and say, well, to hell with black women. We're gonna leave black women alone and then think somebody wants to debate me. My mind's already made up. There's nothing to debate. Sorry, there's nothing to debate. I'm gonna debate a woman because she believes that all black men are Dusties. And I need to debate her to prove all of us ain't Dusties. Well, that's her opinion. Let me read. It says, you don't have to debate her. Just stand strong in your masculinity. We know decent black men. Yeah, but here's my thought process. I think that's the problem with us. The problem is when we talk with one another, we use the word debate. We use the word debate, right? My facts, my life experience, my institutional knowledge, my street knowledge, my common sense may be different from hers. You see what I'm saying? There may be black men out there that hurt her. There may be a baby daddy out there she can't stand. She's gonna base her thoughts and her statistics and her facts off of what happened to her life experience. I can't debate her life experience. Now, in reference to a conversation, my conversation would be simply, if you know any good black men, why do you not advocate for them over advocating and promoting the negativity that you have coming to you on a daily basis about black men? Simple question. I want to talk about Dusties. Okay, why? Why? And then it's not that you do it with all men across the board, because I'm sure it's a bunch of Hispanics, a bunch of white people, a bunch of Oriental people. I'm sure they're doing crazy shit. You focus on black men, but here's the thing. It's one thing to focus on one gender, right? One race and one gender. My thought process is when you do this, you put black men at the lowest level. You promote black men to be at the lowest level because you're not doing anything to say, well, I know some good black men that are just as good or equal to these other races of men. So if you come to your channel, if I didn't know anything about black men, right, and I was a white man, I was a Hispanic man. I was an Oriental man, or whatever case may be. And I come to Cynthia G's channel. It tells me that black men are beneath me, and their women think so. We talking about facts. If I go to Tanya TKO, if I go to Cynthia G's channel, it showcases that they believe as black women that the black man is the lowest on the totem pole for everything. We ain't leading shit. So whereas Tanya TKO may have uplifted her father or given credit to her father, that's far in between of all of the other videos that's being made to say black men are this and black men are that. I think, is it Cynthia G who said something about trash bags or something about trash bags or something? But I mean, all of these references and different symbols and signs and names for black men other than black men. I'm to a point where I'm asking right now, when do we build? When do we get past the name calling and we start building? I hear about weak black men. I hear about deadbeat black men. I hear about black men with no credit, or black men with no businesses, black men that can't be loyal and trustworthy. But I don't really hear the projection for good black men. Do you know any good black men? Now that's another question. Do you know any? See, here's the thing. Successful people talk different. Color has nothing to do with it because everyone has flaws regardless of the race. That's powerful. That's powerful, and that's exactly what I think. If you a deadbeat, I don't give a fuck what color you is. If you a sorry ass motherfucker, I don't care what color you is. If you ain't loyal, trustworthy, your credit bad, you just you ain't no provider and leader and protector, motherfucker. I don't care what color you is. You see, so we can stretch this shit out. But for some reason, when we hone in on black people, it's like, okay, cool, she black, she talking about black men. But the thing about it is how you talk about black men. It's how you talk about black men. Like if I was to sit here and say, you know what, I don't like black women, and this, of course, this is, you know, but what do you say? I don't like black women who are loud. I don't like black women who wear eyelashes. I don't like black women who wear weave. I don't like black women who wear colored weave. I don't like women who wear a bunch of makeup. If I say all of these things, but I never say, well, this is what I like. This is what black men like. So you're assuming and you're laying out the fact that, well, all black women fall into this category. If you never give a photo of what you like or what black men like, you're encompassing all. All black women don't wear weave. All black women don't wear an abundance of makeup or eyelashes or not loud. There are very articulate, intellectual black women. There are very successful black women. There are black women who have great credit scores. There are black women who are taking care of their children and believe in marriage and being trustworthy. There are black women who love themselves and know their worth. There are black women who travel and are Fortune 500 CEOs. There are a lot of positive black women. So can you imagine my motherfucking ass having the audacity to sit up here and say, oh, black women are this and black women are that, but I never say the good black women, so you don't know no good black women. They not in your circle. You know what I also believe? I believe because men and women down black men and black women or whatever case may be, they don't believe that the people, they don't believe that these high value people, let's just use this so everybody kind of know what that is. They don't believe those high value black men and women would pick them. They don't believe that. They're not knocking on their door. Hey, how you doing? So because you are not getting picked by who you want to get picked by, and because Tyrone and Raekwon and all of these other guys are running up on you, you're only getting the people that are low value, that operate at a low frequency, that want to get to you, or that you've only been messing with. So now you about 2-3 kids in, and it's like, oh, fuck all these black men, they all dusty. Because you know what I noticed? I noticed ain't nobody that say that they have such a disagreement with the opposite sex. The hell with the opposite sex. You know what they not doing? They're not showcasing somebody that is a CEO of a company. I'm just a real company, not a mom and pop store, but salute to that. But the fact of the matter is, they're not showcasing that they could get anybody of value. So when you can't get anybody of value, it leads me to believe that that's why you have such a hatred and a disdain for black men, because those black men that you want don't want you. Those black women that you want won't pick you. That's what I get from that message. That's what I get from that message. Because I'm going to be honest with you, as a successful black man, if I hear black women sitting online bashing black men, that don't make me say, I want to date somebody like Tanya TKO. That would be awesome. I want them to be a partner in my business. I want them to be the mother of my children. That don't make me, as a man, say, that's who I want. And I don't understand why somebody would think that that's cool. As a black man, you see me as a woman bashing black women on a regular basis, and you're successful. Would that make you want to say, that's the type of black man I want to be with? That's the black man I want to come and be a part of my family, you know, or make family? I think we kind of like, people don't really think about the big picture and what they really promoting. Or is it just entertainment? We love to use that word. It's just entertainment. We just playing. I know. We is it just entertainment, or is it some real shit? We sit online and we bash each other and we expect shit to, I guess, go great? Or do we just promote that rhetoric and say, okay, well, we're just joking? Well, at the end of the day, is it funny? Are you winning something? But even this is what's even more scarier. What's more scary is the fact that people feel like they're in the comment section rooting the people that are bashing black men and black women. They're rooting them on. They're rooting them on. These are people that you come across every day that work at the gas station, the grocery store, the daycare, a doctor, a lawyer, a garbage man. They're rooting, bashing black women. So I want you guys to think about this real quick, right? You know, YouTube does a great job at being able to kind of hide your identity or whatever case may be. Just imagine if I was a police officer and I sat and I listened to a man bash black women. The man disrespected black women to the highest extreme, and I'm a police officer. Suppose I pull you over as a black woman, and the narrative is that I constantly, I contribute, I pay money to promote the bashing of black women, because that's what it is. I think it's funny when black women get bashed. And then I pull you over. What would you think then? Would you think that this policeman that donates to this platform and cheers for this platform, right? Shares the rhetoric and like and subscribe and all this other stuff. Would you feel like that person is going to be fair and impartial to you as a black woman? Would you want that police officer to deal with your black daughter? I truly believe that when you have content that promotes distraction and hatred, because it's hate speech, I believe that you should have to identify who you are. You should have to show your face. I believe that's fair. Because God forbid if it's a judge. God forbid if it's a police officer. Hell, God forbid if it's a lawyer or a teacher or a doctor. That's why I said, man, if you don't believe in what it is that you're promoting online to be in real life, then stop promoting it. Stop promoting it. Because these situations can go left and it can be very dangerous. That's why I reach out and I do these types of videos or whatever case be, and I say, hey, look, if you believe it, then you believe it. But let's not say it's just for entertainment purposes. I don't know who hurt you. I don't know who disrespected you past the point of not believing in black men anymore. But I would say change your circle. Change your circle. There are a lot of great black men and black women out there. Fix your circle. Because when you fix your circle, there's nowhere in hell you're going to tell me you got great black men over here, great black women over here, a great concept of community, and then get online and say, oh, the hell with black men, the hell with black women, because then you would be living a facade. Then what you would be doing is disingenuous. You can't say I hate all black women and then jump offline and be like, but not my black women right here. I hate all black men, but not my black men right here. Like, I'm curious why people wouldn't call that out. You literally have women who just had babies by black men, then get online and say all black men ain't shit and they dusty and they this and they that. And I'm thinking like, so why did you lay down and sleep with a black man and get pregnant? If you don't like black women, why do you have black women in your household? Why do you have black women on your platform? Like I don't get it. Maybe I'm confused. I don't know. But I'm just asking y'all, do you think it's time to stop all of the nonsense? Do you think it's time to move past the name calling? Do you think it's time to move past the finger pointing and the blame game? Because for some reason, nobody is taking responsibility for nothing when everybody wrong. Black men wrong. Black women wrong. Black community wrong. So if we know everybody's wrong, how the fuck can you only be right? How can you only be right? I could point out 100 things that's wrong with black men. And somebody will sit back and point out 101 things that's wrong with black women. Somebody then will sit down and point out 205 things that's wrong with the black community. Well, if everybody wrong, shouldn't we be working on a solution to be right? Nope. What we do is we work on more solutions to point out, well, yeah, but I got one more thing that's wrong with you. Damn, bro, how long this one more thing gonna last? how long this I gotta be right gonna last? Because that's what it's about. I gotta be right. I gotta one up you. Sugar and salt look alike, but that surely tastes different. So I appreciate the difference in race, and we do the sugar and salt, no doubt. That was good. That was good. You know, I really think it's disappointing that we bash each other like we do, and we tell. Can you imagine me as a black man telling other black men don't defend black women? Let them defend themselves. Let that marinate. Let that marinate. Can you imagine me telling black men, as a black man, let black men figure it out and defend themselves? And for some reason, somebody would say that makes sense. Can you imagine a black woman with black children, a black son, tell other black women, we ain't defending black men no more? Let it marinate, let it breathe. That don't sound ridiculous to you? That don't sound crazy as hell to you? Nobody defending nobody. Nobody worried about nobody. So why are you big up in everybody else's race? Why are you promoting everybody else's race? The thing about it is, if you don't like black men and you want to date white men, that's your prerogative. Love who you love, but don't run behind them just because their skin is different. You say they're better automatically. And see, this is why I said that slave mind. Just because your skin is different than this man's skin, you're automatically better. Oh yeah. Cynthia G, come on. Tanya, come on. Just because your skin is different, you're automatically better. Well, if I take a black lawyer and I take a white guy who's trailer trash, right? And I put the black lawyer in a regular pair of shorts and a t-shirt, and I put the white man in the same regular shirt and a t-shirt, and they stand side by side. Can you imagine somebody saying because he's white, he's better than you? Can you imagine these women telling their children, because this man is white, because this woman is white, they're better than you? If that ain't some fucking crazy shit, I don't know how. I don't know how you explain that shit away. Because they're white, they automatically are better than you. That's what we promoting? That's what we telling people? That is supposed to empower us to do better. Encouraging other women to think that thought of, girl, just go with the white guy. It's so much better. So white men are not killing women. White men are not molesting children. White men are not going to jail for all types of other shit. White men are not disrespecting women. White men are not leaving their children. For some reason, they hunt for the good stuff when it comes to white people, but only want to promote the bad stuff when it comes to black men. I need everybody that I tagged in here to give me your response, because I'm asking this solid question. Do you feel like we should move past the name calling and the blame game? Do you feel like it's time for that? Because me personally, I feel like it's time to move past it, because there is nobody without blame. There's nobody that is their hands are not dirty. Everybody's hands are dirty. Everybody done some fucked up shit. Whether you a man or you a woman, you done some fucked up shit. Okay? And it's crazy to say I'm only going to focus on your fucked up shit, but I'm never going to address my fucked up shit. Now, Tanya TKO did this whole anthem. I don't know if you guys heard it or not. I'm probably gonna play some more. Where she said, if you agree with black men, if you still support black men, you're called a mammy or a pick-me. I'm just trying to figure out, is that empowering? Like, is that, let me ask the women something real quick. Does that empower you? Do you feel empowered? Hey, we're gonna stop messing with black men. We only gonna deal with white men, girl. Okay. Let me say this to y'all real quick. And this might hurt some feelings, okay? It is what it is. If you think you're Eve, you know the rapper, you're not. If you think that you are Serena Williams, you're not. What's the difference between those two black women and the average black woman? Anybody? I'm gonna wait for that comment to come in real quick. I'm waiting. Let's go. Come on. What's the difference? What's the difference? Let me tell you what the difference is. Since I see some of y'all is like, oh, I don't want to say nothing. The difference is those women have money. Those women don't look like your everyday average black female. So for those who say, okay, well, I'm gonna go wear some purple hair, some yellow hair, I'm gonna go get some long eyelashes, my fingernails gonna be out to here, you know, Eve changed up her whole persona. Serena Williams, athletic, had money before she met whoever she met. It's different. So for some people to be like, well, I'm just gonna go get me a white man. The thing about it is, will that white man want you? You can want what you want, but will that white man want you back? Will that white man respect you? Do they want to build with you? There's a lot of people that there are a lot of circles that I know for a fact a lot of people can't get into. So promoting online this narrative of we're gonna go get us some white men, and my thought process is there's no need to go get with a white boy who act black. And then when you go get a white man, my thought process is, do you think that you're going to have these same tendencies that you would have with Tyrone and Marquise or whatever the case may be? No, they're not having it. They're not having it. I say Eve because Eve is with a successful white man. I say Serena Williams because she's with a successful white man. Now here's the thing, both of them were successful before they met the white man. So there's a lot of women that are not that successful at that level that saying they're gonna go get them a man like Serena Williams and Eve. I'm confused. I'm really confused. Because here's the thought process. The thought process is if you're sitting online and you're bashing men, regardless if it's black men, white men, Korean men, etc., etc., etc. If you are a Fortune 500 CEO, if you are on your shit, credit score good, you got your own business, you got your shit together, and you are a man, I'm telling you right now, one of the biggest turn-offs is going to be a woman sitting online bashing men. I'm telling you, listen, y'all, listen. I'm trying to help some people out. That is going to be a big turnoff. As soon as they click, oh, I didn't know you do videos. Okay, let me play it. Dusty, homosexual, this, man ain't shit, blah, 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 blah. They're not going to want no part of that. They're not going to invest their time or energy into that. I'm trying to be real with y'all. I'm trying to be real with y'all. They're not going to invest their energy into that. And it's going to be hard for you to say, I'm just doing it for entertainment purposes. I'm just doing it for a check. Because what's going to happen is people who don't know what the fuck they doing, when they get asked simplistic questions, they give you this deer in the headlight look. They give you this deer in the headlight look. And the shit is crazy. Because it's like this. Well, if you have black children, how can you tell your black son and daughter that one is better than the other? That one should date outside their race and the other shouldn't? Like, how do you dictate that message? How do you separate that message? So you're telling my sister don't fuck with nobody who look like me, but for me it's whatever, as a young man. And then you wonder why you have the goddamn manosphere saying you have women fucking up young kids. Now, I don't believe in all of the narrative that's being promoted on the manosphere side or on the womansphere side. Red pill, green pill, pink pill, black. It is what it is. But the fact of the matter is, that's a good ass argument. How do you separate the narrative when you say, I have a son and a daughter, and I'm telling my daughter, all black men are dusties. All black men are disloyal and dysfunctional and got bad credit scores and bad fathers, and I'm selling that narrative to my daughter while my son sits there and listens to that. Well, to me, that's something like abuse. That's something like abuse. That's abuse. So for the people that saying you should debate Cynthia G, well, I'm gonna ask some simple questions. And it's surprising to me that the people that follow her don't ask her, well, how do you separate your message when it comes to your children or it comes to your nieces and nephews? How do you separate that? Can you imagine her being in a room full of her nieces and nephews and telling all of her nieces, black men ain't shit, girl, they dusties? Her nephews would be like, what the fuck? What's wrong with this chick? That's why I don't buy into that shit. You know, I don't buy into that. You have to be careful about how you heal. And if healing is, I'm going to point my finger towards somebody else. Black women, it's their fault I'm fucked up as a man. It's y'all fault. It's y'all fault I have a 390 credit score. It's y'all fault. Because if y'all would do better, I would be better. I'm going to sit here and come up with a bunch of catchy names. It's y'all fault, not my fault. It is not my personal responsibility to handle my shit as a man. Bro, how many times we gotta say this, man? How many times we gotta say this, man? Accountability. Accountability. Everybody can't be responsible for your fuck ups. And here's the great thing about fucking up. Here's the great thing about fucking up. As long as you wake up and you're able to think, move, breathe, touch, see, hear, you have an opportunity to change for the better. You have one more strike at bat or chance at bat. You got an opportunity to build. But if every day you wake up and say, let me tune into somebody saying I should hate, disrespect, degrade a person that I should be wanting to know, that I should be wanting to pull in my circle and get to know and help support. But nah, I would rather listen to someone tell me, let's call them a bunch of names. And this is supposed to empower our community. No wonder it's easy for cops to come into the community and say, shit, they fighting amongst themselves. Fuck the black on black crime, it's male on female crime. But we don't talk about it, we too scared. We're too busy cheering each other on to disrespect one another, and we think that's gonna make us feel good about ourselves. This is no disrespect to the Cynthia G's and the Tanya TKOs, because it's a lot of people, and it's a lot of other men that talk about women left and right. You know, if that's what you do, that's what you do. But I'm saying, where you have a platform, you also have a responsibility. And if you feel like that is the only thing that you could do for entertainment purposes, I feel sorry for you. I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel sorry for you. Because at some point in time, you know, you mature and you level up. And for those people that understand, first of all, I need to take self-accountability. And then second of all, I need to choose my friends and my support circle a little bit better. Those type of people, they move different, they talk different, they got a different type of energy. Those are the type of people you want to bring around your children, because they're going to teach your children or help teach your children the standards and morals that you as a parent want to instill in your child. But why would you bring me around when I don't respect black women? Why would you bring me around if I don't respect black men? Why would you bring me around? Why would you want me a part of your team, want me a part of your family, want to date and marry me? You wouldn't if that was the narrative or the rhetoric. Can you imagine a motherfucker pulling up on a blind date? Oh, they dressed, they good. Whoa, they clean. What the fuck? You got your beard shaped up? Okay, cool. You get out, you open the door. Boom, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. And you turn on your fucking radio. Black women ain't shit. These motherfuckers. Hold on. Before y'all get too happy. Hold on, wait. Ladies, for some reason, you got to pick up the man. Boom. You got your dress on, got your hair done, nails done, everything done. Boom. You know what I'm saying? You open the door for the dude, whatever the case may be. You know how it is, you know. Get in the car, okay, shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, these dusty ass black men, fuck all these black men, they ain't shit. Date over. Date motherfucking over, goddammit. I just gonna make me some oodles and noodles, goddammit. Fuck, Frank or something. Date is over. Date is over. You gotta be mindful of what you goddamn put in your mind and what you let other people hear. Can you imagine that shit? Not even on a date, but can you imagine somebody hearing that at church? Somebody hearing that in your workplace? Or in your place of business? Do you know how many people will be turned off by you for listening to that shit? That's like me as a black man listening to KKK members doing their shit. What his name was, David something, whatever his name was. Can you imagine me listening to hate speech? That's hate speech. That is hate speech. If you don't like black women so much, get your ass out of the United States of America. Go where ain't no black people. If you don't like black men so much, get your ass out of the United States of America. Go where ain't no black men. That's what I say. Because everybody that remains here should be on the same accord and say, man, let's work together. We up against a lot. And the last thing I want to do is stand in front of a black woman and tell her how she is this and this and this and this, and say nothing to be like, man, look, we both done fucked up. My bad. My bad. Let's do what we gotta do. It's your choice, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know what this is Tough Love. I'm Mario J. Until next time. Man, fuck that. I was gonna say adult up. But we gotta start working together and stop this fuck shit. No shade, no disrespect, no none of that. Forget all the jokes and let's get serious about what we gotta do. It's not just for the next generation, but it's for our generation. Peace.